3 million developers, one quiet switch. Today, what Codex shipped in 3 weeks. The 5 capabilities that changed the calculus, where it beats Claude Code, where it does not, and the unpopular bet on what this means for every developer tool that exists. April 16th, 2026, OpenAI shipped what looked like a feature update. It was actually a repositioning. Codex stopped being a coding agent that day. It became a developer workstation that happens to run AI. 3 million developers were already using Codex every week before this update shipped. That is the install base OpenAI just upgraded. The launch page does not bury the headline. Codex for almost everything. 5 new capabilities in a single release. Mac control, 90 plus plugins, in-app browser, memory, scheduling. Here is the launch demo. Watch what Codex actually does on the Mac. It opens apps, reads context, takes action without stealing your cursor. Ari Weinstein at OpenAI called it a magical feeling. Translation, the agent works while you work. 2 cursors, 1 Mac, no interruption. 90 plus plugins, same day. Docs, project management, code review, deployments, creative work. Codex did not just learn to use your computer, it learned to use the rest of your stack. 9 to 5 Mac framed it cleanly. Codex moved from strictly developer focused to having more general utility as an AI tool. That sentence is the entire shift in one line. And here is the plugin layer in motion. Codex pulling context from one tool, taking action in another. The IDE is no longer the boundary. 3 weeks later, on May 7th, OpenAI extended the same logic into the browser, and almost nobody covered it. The post came from OpenAI devs. Codex Chrome plugin, test web apps, use DevTools in parallel, without taking over the browser. That last clause is the entire pitch. Watch the Chrome plugin work. Codex inspects the page, reads the network tab, diagnoses the bug, while you keep using the same browser without losing your cursor. Read those 4 moments together. Mac control, 90 plugins, memory, a Chrome plugin. The thesis is not subtle. The unit of coding work is no longer a file, it is a task that crosses every tool you own. Pull back for a second. 5 capabilities, each one is a product launched by itself. Stacked together, they redefine what a coding agent is. Capability 1, background computer use. Codex sees, clicks, and types in a sandboxed virtual workspace, multiple agents in parallel on the same Mac. The technical docs are clear, the agent runs in its own sandbox, your cursor is yours, its cursor is its own, no focus stealing. That single design choice is what makes parallel agents actually usable. Capability 2, an in-app browser. Built on OpenAI's Atlas technology, you can comment directly on web pages to give the agent precise instructions. The browser is now an input surface for the agent. Capability 3, image generation inside the editor. Powered by GPT Image 1.5. So when Codex needs an asset, it makes one. No round trip to a separate tool. Capability 4, persistent memory. Codex remembers how you like your code formatted. It remembers the libraries you prefer. It remembers what failed last time. The agent learns your team. Capability 5, scheduling. An agent can pick up a task today, pause, resume next Tuesday, resume next month. The agent is now persistent across days, not just sessions. Codex now runs on a 400,000 token context. That is roughly a small library worth of code in working memory. Still smaller than Claude's million token beta, but large enough to swallow most production code bases whole. Zach Prozer, in a daily driver review, called it production-ready infrastructure. He said he could not imagine going back to a pre-Codex workflow. That is not a launch quote. That is a switching cost forming. Build Fast with AI ran a hands-on review. They're finding 2 to 3 times faster iteration on front-end, testing, and design handoff work. Read those 3 categories again. That is most of what shipping software actually is. 2 to 3 times faster, that is the experience number. The benchmark numbers are about to get more interesting, and the changelog never stops. Goals, browser use, GPT 5.5 routing, tighter permissions. The April release was a punctuation mark, not a finish line. 5 capabilities, 1 workstation. The coding agent disappeared inside a developer environment. That is the part nobody is connecting. Now the comparison, because the question every developer is asking right now is the same. Should I switch from Claude Code? The answer is in the numbers, and the numbers are split. Codex wins where the work touches a terminal, 77.3% on Terminal Bench 2.0. Claude scores 65.4, that is 12 points of difference on tasks developers actually do every day. Claude wins where the benchmark is structured code repair, 80.8% on SWE-bench Verified, the cleanest comparison Claude has, and Claude leads it. Morph LLM ran the side-by-side. Their warning is the right one. The benchmarks are not directly comparable. Different methodology, different problem sets, so look at the things that are comparable. Speed, tooling, reliability, token speed. On Cerebras hardware, Codex hits 1,000 plus tokens per second. Claude Code runs around 200. That is a 5x speed gap on the loop a developer feels every minute. But the user satisfaction number tells a different story. VS Code extension rating, Claude 4.0, Codex 3.4, same store, same buyers, different verdict. From the field, Claude follows the plan. Codex goes off plan most of the time. Read that sentence twice. It is the entire trade-off in one line. Survey of 500 plus developers. 65% prefer Codex for daily coding. The same survey. Blind reviews of the same code. Rated Claude's output as cleaner, more idiomatic, better structured. Sit with that contradiction. Which is why the most experienced developers stopped picking. The pattern that emerged, Claude generates. Codex reviews, use the better writer to write, use the faster operator to verify and ship. Cursor lets you swap models in one session. Many shops now run Claude for architecture and Codex for execution. The exclusive vendor era is ending faster than the AI labs want to admit. Claude has the bigger window, 1 million tokens in beta, Codex 400,000. For monorepo work, that gap matters. For everything else, it does not. Here is the frame nobody is saying out loud. The race is no longer who writes the cleanest code. It is who controls the most surfaces while writing it. Codex wins on surfaces, Claude wins on output. Today, surfaces are winning, tomorrow is not guaranteed. Numbers tell you what, experience reports tell you why, so pull the actual review from somebody using it every day. Zach Browser is a senior engineer who keeps his Codex review updated month over month. His May entry says it shipped past the threshold of fundamentally changed how I build software. That is not a launch take, that is a 6-month verdict. Production-ready infrastructure, that is the line. When a tool stops being a tool and starts being infrastructure, switching costs lock in fast. If you are reviewing code terminal heavy, doing computer use, or shipping fast, use Codex. If you are designing a system, refactoring across 1 million tokens, or writing the first version of a tricky feature, use Claude. Stop picking sides, pick the right tool per task. And here is the part that rarely makes the headlines. The Codex CLI is Apache 2.0 Rust native, 365 contributors. Open infrastructure with a closed model behind it. That hybrid is what won Node and Python ecosystems. Here is the unpopular bet. An IDE was a tool, an agent that owns your computer is a platform, and platforms eat tools. The desktop app launched in February. 3 months later, it has Mac control, 90 plugins, browser, memory, and a Chrome plugin. The release velocity is the moat. Almost nobody can match it. 3 switching costs are forming. Memory of your preferences, plugin integrations with your stack, and the operating system level access. Once those 3 lock in, you are not switching back. Anthropic has 6 months to answer or fewer. 14,692 likes on the launch tweet, 2,358 reposts. The developer audience voted on day 1. And the language in that tweet matters. Codex for almost everything. Almost. The hedge is the tell. OpenAI knows there is still a gap. They are betting they close it before Anthropic does. Speed plus surfaces beats output quality. Until output quality becomes table stakes. We are not at table stakes yet, which is why the switching is happening. They are switching because the tool got out of the editor. They are switching because 2 cursors are better than 1. They are switching because the agent is now part of the operating system. Pull all the way back. What does Codex's April mean for Cursor, for Anthropic, for every coding tool that exists? 6-month bet. Anthropic ships parallel desktop computer use before October. They have to. The platform gap closes only one way. 12-month bet. Cursor either becomes a thin shell over Codex and Claude, or it ships its own agent runtime. Sitting in the middle is no longer a position. The exclusive vendor era is ending faster than the AI labs want to admit. Microsoft now ships Anthropic models. OpenAI now controls the developer surface. Picking sides is the old game. If you are a developer, the takeaway is concrete. Run both. Use Codex for speed and compute computer touch tasks use Claude for architecture and big context. The shops still mandating one are leaving 20 to 30% of velocity on the table. 3 million developers already switched. The next 3 million decide who wins the rest of this decade. AI news now, see you tomorrow.